Okie dokie. So, what's up, y'all? So, I'm here with another video for you guys. Today we are riding alone. We can shut that off now. Today we're riding alone. We're actually gonna be talking about something. I'm gonna do like a, a talking video. And the subject I wanted to talk about, which it's a subject I always talk about when I do TikTok live and stuff, because people always ask me, what's a good first bike to get? We're not talking about that specifically, but I do want to talk about what you should do before you buy a motorcycle or get into motorcycles at all. I'm very passionate about this subject simply because I feel like I got into motorcycles the 100% correct way. My dad obviously got me into, two wheels and stuff like that. So I think I got into it a very good way that a lot of people kind of overlook of how you should get into it. Because, it's a less common way. I'm gonna split this into a couple sections. I'm gonna do kind of like a section where I explain just the different parts of what you should do before getting a motorcycle and things that you should honestly think about, because this is a hobby and a lifestyle that can kill you so fast. The amount of people that I knew or I've heard of that were only riding for less than a year and this hobby took their life is insane. So it's something you really got to get into correctly. Before we do that though, this is a nice road. Let's do one. I've been trying to really practice on getting back and dropping back and slowing down. We'll put it down. I could have kept going, but I was just, I get so skeptical, man, that a cop will be parked up somewhere, and that's the last thing I want to deal with right now. On the other hand, though, it's gorgeous outside. Hopefully you guys, I'm going to look over the audio. Guys, I'm sorry I haven't dropped a video in almost like 2 weeks from when this is probably going to come out. It's been like 12 days right now, and I want to try and get this out today. Bro, I've just been trying to get this audio thing situated. I literally had to buy a whole new GoPro. Not buy a new GoPro, I bought a used one. It is better, and it has the max lens or whatever it's called for GoPro. Hopefully it looks decent. I have it on the linear mode, so it's not at the widest setting, but it's at a wider setting. And then I had to get the media mod, I had to get the microphone, I had to get everything. Oh, this guy's being nice, thank you. I had to get everything like that, so hopefully it's all set up now. I have a good mic in it, and hopefully it sounds good. But yeah, so hopefully I get this video out to you guys. Hopefully you enjoy it. I should have more good content coming up. I'm going to California again for a ghost meet. It's coming up weekend. Currently it's the weekend, so it's this coming up weekend. I'm gonna be going down there with 4 bikes. We're gonna be staying at an Airbnb and going to this ghost meet. Hopefully it should be good. Talking to some people, they said there should be a lot of content opportunities, which I love. Obviously, we love to hear that. Alrighty, so starting with the first subject of this video, and I want to start off with one that's quite simple. It's a question to ask yourself, and it's a question that should be answered before you even think about getting into bikes. And it is, what kind of riding do you want to do? So many subcategories of motorcycles and all that you could want to get into this for strictly track riding. You could want to get into this for stunting, cruising on the weekend, a daily commute. There's so many subcategories of what you could want to get into. And there's also, of course, TikTok bikers, content creating, stuff like that. Helmet creators. all that stuff, but that's not here nor there. The main riding subcultures, carving canyons, you know, I want to go to the twisties, I want to go to the track, I want to go to the lot and go stunt, all of these things need to be answered of what you want to do on two wheels, because then that'll tell me or anybody you ask, that'll tell us, okay, this is the kind of bike they should look into getting. And this is kind of the steps they should take to get into that, right? You all kind of start out a certain way, but I always hate the question of what kind of bike should I get? Oh, what's a good beginner bike? Well, that depends. What are you into? If you tell me you're into, you know, stunting, I'd tell you maybe get like an MT-03 or something like that. A small little naked bike, decent amount of torque that you can throw up. That thing was questionable. Small little torquey bike that you can get up if you want to, and it's still light enough to, or small enough that start on it, right? Or if you say, oh, I want to go carve some canyons, cool, all right, look into getting, you know, again, you could get a naked bike, you could get a sport bike. Or if you tell me, oh, I really like you know, the style of the Harleys and stuff like that, I like cruiser bikes, then you could talk into like Rebels and stuff like that. Little Rebel, I think they're 400s or something, Rebel 500. There's so many beginner bikes, and they all cater to a different set of people. So just asking what's a good beginner bike, especially on my TikTok lives, I'll say, what kind of bike do you want to get into? Do you want to get into more sport riding? Do you want to get into, you know, stunt riding? Do you want to get into cruising? There's a lot of different things of what I would tell people to get into depending on their first bike. Once you've figured out what you want to do, that's when you start looking into that. You start looking into, okay, what's a good first sport bike? What's a good first stunt bike? Like things like that, because then, one, you're not wasting money. If someone is just gonna go out and buy an R3 or a Ninja 400 or something along those lines, and then later on they're like, well, I wanted a cruiser to begin with, you should have just bought a cruiser to begin with. All right, so you gotta start looking into the bikes that you want. Don't take other people's opinions, because everybody has a different style that they want. Now, if you know what you want, then start taking in opinions of what's a good first cruiser, what's a good first sport bike. You know? Once you figured all that out, you know what you want, exactly what you want, the next thing you need to do, you need to start budgeting for riding. And the reason I say budgeting for riding and not just a motorcycle is because there's a lot more than just getting the bike. Right, there's gear, gloves, helmet, boots, pants. Obviously, I'm not in full riding gear. I've never rode in full riding gear. I've never liked it. I've worn a jacket a couple times, but I've never liked riding gear, and that's a squid thing of me. I know. Every time someone talks to me about getting into it, I tell them, first thing, don't look like me. All right, you need to wear your gear. It's gonna save your life. I'm wearing a short sleeve right now. You need to wear your gear. That's the biggest thing, because at the end of the day, the bike is replaceable. You are not. Your skin is not as replaceable as you think it is, man. The amount of people that I've seen go down and they've had gear on and it saved their lives, or they didn't have gear on and it messed them up, you really got to look into gear. So start budgeting for motorcycle gear. A helmet, a decent helmet. Don't go on Amazon and buy no cheap helmet. That's not gonna save you. It's like these gloves even. Man, these are dirt bike gloves, y'all. These are dirt bike gloves. These are not, if I crash right now on the street, these are gonna be gone within a second, right? This is not something that you should be wearing on the street. Again, I have done it for as long as I can remember, and it's not a good habit, and it's not one that I see myself breaking out of anytime soon. I just find these comfortable and that's it. But please don't do it. Pants, you know, NBT, if you don't like the look of wearing leather pants, NBT, they have amazing clothing. I've heard, I've never worn it, but they have amazing clothing that looks like normal streetwear. It's protective. Same thing with jacket, all that stuff. The second thing I'm going to tell you to budget for, other than the motorcycle and gear, which is another big thing that a lot of people will overlook, is insurance. Insurance on these things is stupid. And I know if you go get a Grom or something like that, the insurance might be dirt cheap or something around those lines. But if you go and get a sport bike, like a Ninja 400 or something like that, insurance isn't going to be cheap. I'll tell you that much. It's not going to be cheap. Ooh. Insurance isn't cheap on these things, so please look into that before you even question buying a bike, because you need insurance. You need insurance and registration. I know it's a very common thing to not run that at all. You need it. Alright, you're not gonna be running on your R3, Mr. Johnny Badass over here, and then you're gonna get your bike impounded when they catch you and you don't got insurance or anything like that. Put insurance on your bike. Alright, it's the smart thing to do. I've had insurance on this bike ever since I've had it. I've had insurance on my last bike ever since I've had it. So insurance, start getting quotes. Start putting in your info, getting quotes, and see what it's going to be for you and if you can budget that. Obviously, if you get something smaller, it's going to be cheaper. If you get something in the sport or sport naked category, it's going to not be as cheap. Side note, we're down here on the Las Vegas Strip, y'all. It's pretty nice. You could see, I don't know if you could see it perfectly, but you could see over there, they're building the Hard Rock Casino or something like that. It's the big guitar. Alrighty, guys. So the next thing I'm going to tell you to start looking into, once you've budgeted and you're finally like, alright, this is the bike I want, this is the gear I'm gonna get, start looking into a local MSF course. Alright, before you even buy a bike, you might be like, oh, I need a bike to go do that. No, you don't. They provide you with bikes. Most of them. Every single one I've seen, they provide you with bikes, and they're good beginner bikes that you can go and learn on. I think they're like $50 or something like that to go take it. And start pricing that out so that you can go learn how to ride. I used to tell a lot of people, you know, find people with bikes that might be willing to let you ride, that might be a little cheaper, on like cheaper bikes, not a freaking Ducati or something like that. But it's better to go learn at the MSF course. If you drop an MSF course bike, boo-hoo, it's, you know, it's where you learn to ride. They're probably thinking you're gonna drop the bike. Just go take it. You will need a helmet, I'm pretty sure, a helmet and gloves. It'll tell you like what you need. So at this point, then you will start putting money into the hobby without even buying the bike. But you should be buying the gear first anyways, because how are you gonna get it home if you don't got the gear? Ooh, these roads are horrible down here on the Las Vegas Strip, man. But yes, go take the MSF course. They'll teach you all these simple things, not the end all be all. Once you take the MSF course, you're a pro. And now they don't teach you when, you know, you gotta merge on the highway and there's someone not letting you merge, or stuff like that. They don't teach you that stuff. So it's just something to get your feet wet and see what it's like, and honestly see if you really want to do it, because you might go to the MSF course, not enjoy it at all, which I doubt, because I know that most people love motorcycles. I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, oh, well, my friends, they don't have their license, they don't have their motorcycle, and they're good riders. Doesn't matter, bruh. You just go take it. All right, stay safe and go take it. It's the dumbest thing to say, I don't need it. If you don't take it, if you get pulled over, you're cooked. You don't have a motorcycle license. Come on, twin. We can't be caught lacking by the cops. You can't give them reasons to give you tickets, right? The next thing I'm gonna talk about, once you've done the MSF course and you've gotten your helmet and you're starting to be like, all right, boom, I'm ready to get a bike. My personal opinion, don't buy a brand new bike as your first bike. Two sides of this. Don't buy a brand new bike as your first bike, but then again, don't buy a piece of junk that's not gonna be fun, right? Don't buy a 2001 freaking CBR that you already know is gonna have a ton of issues. You're gonna be wrenching on it, or you're gonna have to take it to the shop. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself, because that's gonna make you fall out of love with the sport, with the hobby, and you're gonna be like, oh, screw this, I'm always working on my bike. I work on it more than I even ride it. And yeah, that sucks. Trust me, I was at that point whenever I raced dirt bikes, where I was working on my bike more than I rode it, and I hated it. But look into, you know, a used bike. This is a 2016 FZ with a ton of miles on it. This thing has 43,000 miles on it. It's an old mother trucker. It's still fun because it's okay, granted it wasn't reliable. I blew up the first motor and I had to put a new motor in, but I know it's going to be reliable now. When I bought it, I knew that I was gonna be able to get at least a couple miles out of it, which I got like 10,000 miles out of it until the motor gave. Get something that's reliable that you're not gonna have to spend a ton of money on and you're gonna have to not wrench on. Along with that, do not get something that you can't handle. I know a lot of people will be like, you can start on a 600, you just gotta have throttle control. Or a lot of people, well, I rode my buddy's 600 and it was pretty easy. You rode your buddy's 600 on the highway, you hit 120 on a straight line, and that was easy to you. Twin. That anybody can do 100, 120, whatever you want to do on the freeway, and it's easy, right? You haven't fully experienced the amount of power that those bikes really have once you start ripping on them. So you definitely, I wouldn't start on a 600. A lot of people will say, oh, well, you're gonna get bored of a 400 if you just have a 400. Oh, you're gonna get bored this and that. If you're getting bored of a 400, dude, you're not doing the right thing. This is in my opinion. I had a 250 Supermoto, but not a fast bike at all. And that thing was probably the most fun I've had because I knew how to use it. I knew the power was and what to do with it. So that's something that I would tell you is don't think you're gonna get bored of a 400 or something like that. You just really got to know how you're gonna ride it and stuff like that, man. That's a big thing, is don't get a bike too big for you. Even this, an FZ07, man, it's a 2-cylinder 700, a lot slower than a 600, and I would barely say that this is a good first bike, right? I'd barely say that this is a good first bike. So we're gonna get in here just to get out of the sun real quick. But yeah, like I was saying, don't get something that's too overpowered for you, you know. I would much rather see someone that humbles themselves and they get themselves a simpler little bike instead of getting like a freaking 600 or something like that. Learn correctly on it. That's all I'm trying to say, y'all. Oh, let's take a look at her. Nothing crazy, y'all. Got the rag, good old rag. Hopefully this audio's been going good though, guys, because I haven't fully tested it out yet. I barely had gotten it set up like yesterday, day before yesterday, but I didn't ride yesterday. So yes, you found the bike that you want to buy, whether it be on marketplace used, at a dealership used, or brand new even. One of my other tips, I get asked to do it a couple of times actually. I've been asked to within my riding experience, is to find someone that you know that rides, if you have any friends or family members, and ask them to go with you when you go buy the bike. Be able to point out things that you won't know is an issue. Mine, for example, right, the fork is leaking. You might think that that's just there for looks or something. Obviously it's not, but fork's leaking, right? The wheels are all scraped up, so it might have been crashed. The frame sliders and the sub cage, it's been crashed, obviously. Stuff like that. You really got to look into that stuff. You're spending a lot of money, your hard-earned money, on a motorcycle that, frankly, you're going to be riding on the street, and you want it to be as safe as possible, and you want to know everything wrong with it. So make sure you take a buddy so they can look at the bike with you, explain things to you, and honestly give you a good opinion on if it's a good deal or not. Because there's been times where I've bought a bike and didn't know better. I was in a rush and it was a freaking piece of junk, and I wish I had someone that helped me with it. But obviously years of experience, and now I'm able to notice the things, and I love helping people when they buy a new bike, because it's good knowing that someone's gonna get a bike that they're gonna enjoy and it's not a piece of junk. Get someone that is willing to help you with that, and you know that you can trust their opinion. And honestly, one of the last things that I'm going to talk about in this video is going to be, I forget, yes, be honest with yourself, chat. Be honest with yourself on why you're getting a bike. Be honest with yourself that you want to do this. Don't do this for the Instagram hype and clout, and I want to look cool on the road, or I want to get chicks. Trust me, all that stuff is not guaranteed with this. All right, for me, example, when I started on two wheels, I didn't even start on the street. I started on dirt bikes. I started on a tiny little dirt bike, and I fell in love with the fact of the freedom that it gave me. If you feel free, you feel like you and the bike are one. You're controlling the bike and you're showing it where to go. It's almost like an art form, really, especially on dirt bikes, you know, when they race and stuff like that, the form and everything. Not to get into that too much, but make sure you really like it. All right, don't do it because your friend dared you to. Don't do it because hype and clout. Don't do it because of any of that. Do it because it's something that you're gonna love and enjoy and be passionate about. Be passionate about the things that you want to do in life. You only have one life, so do the things that you enjoy. I enjoy this. That's why for the last 7 years I've been doing it for majority of my days in those last 7 years, and it's something I enjoy. It's something that's hurt me. It's something that's costed me a lot of money, but it's also something that I honestly enjoy in life, and it brings me joy. So I'm gonna keep doing it until it doesn't bring me joy, and then I'll find something else. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It's probably gonna be a smaller video. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a little bit smaller of a video. We'll see once I get done with all the editing. Okay, the camera got a little hot, that's why it stopped, so I came to give it some wind. But where was I think I was talking about my outro, right guys? I think so. Look at the guitar. Wow, so cool. Hopefully this video helped you. If you guys have any other questions, you can comment on this video or just shoot me a DM on Instagram. I answer basically all of my DMs, especially if it's questions about riding. Shoot me a DM, you know, I'll be glad to help. I'll be glad to give you my opinion on different things. Sorry this video wasn't packed full of a bunch of cool, fun stunts and stuff, guys. I'm actually about to go to this place. I've never tried it, but it's right here by me. It's called Corsa Coffee or something like that. But yeah guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys can use some of this info. Oh yes, it is here. Hopefully you guys can use some of this video to actually help yourself getting into this community, man. It's a great community, especially if you find the right people to ride with. It's an amazing community. So with that being said, guys, we're gonna try this Corsa Coffee. Got a bunch of supercars in here or something like that, and yeah, maybe I'll show you guys here. I don't want to walk in with my helmet on, but I'll put some clips of whatever I see in there. But yes guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. More videos to come soon. I'll be recording another video today talking about, if you guys think it'd be a good video, it might be, talking strictly about riding in Las Vegas, because I feel like it's but it's definitely unique, especially with the heat, man. Gosh, it's brutal. Like right now, 96 degrees, y'all, and I'm riding what I'm riding in. But yes guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Catch you guys later. Go follow the socials, more stuff on there. I post basically every single day on there, and I'll catch y'all at the next video. Deuces. Alrighty, inside, hella aesthetic, y'all. Hella aesthetic. Pretty sick cars. They're back in the test lane right now. Pretty tough. I think it's back, wide body, pretty sick. It's a Liberty Walk? Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Sick car. I barely missed it, guys, but this thing is slammed. Look at that fitment. Crazy fitment.